Hey everyone, Brendan Snyder here. How are you? Thanks so much for joining me. Anthony Coviello.
Michael Schenker, see him on the bottom?
He's on the, yeah. Who
How
else?
come he's facing us today? What's going on?
I don't know.
Why is that such a scary album
But
cover?
I saw this when I walked in too. It caught my eye. It's horrific album art, but at the same time, it's nice that there's some Michael Schenker on display.
Now this is a good lead into our topic today. So you're walking in,
Right?
you see this, it's in the markdown,
And you think,
$30 record,
oh, Michael Schenker.
$16.98.
Right?
And if you know, you're like, oh man, that was an expensive record. I wasn't paying $30 or $25 for that. And then you think, oh crap, $16.98. F it, let me try it. That would almost make my day.
Except until you put it on and found out they're cover songs and it's not actually his stuff.
Yes. But if you know, you know.
Right. And then in most cases, they're him playing guitar with some other backing band and other singers. So these were from tribute albums done by the label Cleopatra Records.
Wow. So then you just walk out with another disappointing trip to the record store.
Yeah, which is the topic of today, which is when we go to record stores, sometimes you don't find anything and you're disappointed. And that is the biggest letdown I can experience.
I went to 3 record stores last week, and I had 3 letdowns.
Yeah, in a row you said.
Even though I found a bunch of stuff, but it didn't fill the ultimate hole that I was looking for, which is deeper than just
That hole's pretty deep.
buying records. Right? I was hoping to, like, I don't know, just one marvelous
Sometimes
thing.
I go to record stores and I need to find something new to listen to. So it's not just that I want to buy new music, but I want to have that experience, certainly. It's I can't find anything right now. My mind is not on any one particular type of music. So I'm going to the record store, and when I walk out with nothing, it not only doesn't fill the void of buying something and having a great experience and all of that comes with a record store, but then I don't have that new thing to listen to. It doesn't
I never
kick
walk
off.
out with nothing.
Yeah.
I'll buy something just. And then,
Yeah, I know. But then aren't you more disappointed when you get home and it's not really anything that tickles your fancy?
well, that's where the disappointment comes in. I mean, you
Yeah.
know you're disappointed leaving. You know you're disappointed in there. But then you get home, and then it's just such a... It's like
I don't really want to
fucking
listen to that.
butter just melting all over the
Drop
counter.
your ice cream on
And
the
it's just,
floor.
it's just, oh man.
I love
Yeah.
the ones. I've had the ones where I've walked out thinking I didn't really find anything, and I got 10 CDs or something, and then when I get home, one after the other, they turn out to be better than I thought they were. That's great, but it's rare. Usually it's the other way around. Do you think maybe you weren't in the mood? Like,
I think I probably forced myself to be in the mood, and
maybe that had something to do with
it
it?
definitely had something to do with it. But I was looking forward to it. I was looking forward to visiting mainly one store that I haven't visited in a while.
Right?
And I was so stoked. And a lot of people have been complaining about this place lately,
Okay.
saying it's just not up to par. But then the last time I was there, which was probably a year ago, I walked out
Big.
with a stack, happy.
Yeah.
This time, man.
Yeah, the last 2 times I went to that store, that's when I walked out where I was like, I did okay. I got 10, 12 CDs. I don't know. And I'm not feeling it. And then I get home, and one of those times, it all turned out to be better than I expected. But the other time, it was just sort of a, I did okay, but, nothing great.
I don't really go also I don't go to stores to buy for my store. Sometimes you find some cool shit and you're
right.
thinking, wow, I'd love to have that in the store.
No, you're
Right?
you're a music fan. You're shopping for yourself.
Yeah.
Your
I
collection.
got home
Right.
on Friday and half of my bag was stuff for the store. And I
Right.
went, wait a minute.
What happened?
That wasn't even a conscious decision. I didn't go in there saying I don't even know how or why it happened.
Right.
And that added to my disappointment. I said, why the fuck am I shopping in a store for another?
For your own store, right. You should be there for
That was-
yourself. Right.
So did my brain turn off and I went on complete autopilot
Yeah.
and
You
shit
were probably.
the bed in every instance?
I think your mind was in that holiday mode of what you needed in the store for people, or what you had been selling lots of leading up to the holiday, right? and you were just like, oh, I need that, I need that, I need that, I need that, and you came back and you said, oh, I blacked out. It's like you didn't even.
I got records for John. I got
Right.
records for Brian. My text mess, my inbox was full because I kept texting people pictures. Do you
Right.
need this? I know you wanted this.
Right.
Did you find it yet?
Right.
I did a lot of that.
Right. And then you got home and you're like, where the fuck
Man,
am I?
so that- yeah.
Yeah, that's a bummer, man. That's how I feel when I buy based on replacing things in my collection, and then I realize when I get home that only 2 or 3 of the CDs I bought were actually new for me to hear, and where I've never heard it before, and everything else is like, oh, I already know that album. I'm just replacing that. That's nothing new. So then I'm really bummed.
Yeah. I maybe I'm just at the point where I'm looking for certain things, and nobody's gonna have these certain things, and if you do, it's
Yeah.
1 in 500 shot.
Yeah.
So you have to, if you want it, you have to order it online.
Yeah.
Where am I going to find the Doors in concert from 1991? I've never saw one at a show or a store.
Yeah.
So it's something you got to order online.
You got to hunt down. Yeah, there's things like that, certainly.
That's what I'm looking for. Those are the things I want.
Yeah, you want that kind of
And-
a find. Is it the time of year? 'Cause
There's
it's
also
Christmas
that, because
because-
we've talked about this
Yeah.
last year, where the time of year has a lot to do with it.
Mm-hmm.
Bleh.
Well, right. Well, there is the blood, but I was also thinking everybody has shopped out the stores for Christmas. They went in and bought it. So the quantity
that
of
reality.
product is also down. So you might be looking for that good score, but somebody found it 2 weeks early
That
to
could
give
be a
to their
definite
boyfriend
thing.
or whatever.
Yeah.
But you're right. Touching on what we did a topic of this last year, which is I don't know if it was like the end of year blues. There's just that feeling.
Maybe that could be it too.
Yeah, there's nothing new coming out. Just end of year. You have to reassess what you did the last year, and maybe you didn't make your New Year's goals or whatever it is, and you're just feeling kind of blue. But I get in that mind frame, and I don't know why, and I can't find anything to listen to. I can't find anything that tickles my fancy, and it's a weird time of year. And then I find myself just really, really anticipating the first week of the new year that has some major releases.
There's none this year.
There aren't. Not
for the first 2 weeks.
Yeah, I mean,
I just did all the new releases up to the 10th.
right. It's like the 3rd or the 4th week that stuff finally starts, and even then, the first 3 months of this year, there isn't anything major dropping yet. Last year, around this time, I don't remember if it was Judas Priest or what it was. Something was dropping in January, and I couldn't believe it, a major artist. And it came out, and it was just like, wow, what a way to start right away in January. Now, one of the stores you went to, you said was closed, right? You went.
Oh no, I went to. I did go to one store, but this was the Friday. This was the Sunday before Christmas.
Yeah. And you went. They were supposed to be open. And you said the lights are on
The
too.
fucking lights were on, and the place was closed.
And I've had that happen. Now, when that happened to me, it was a snow day. And I'm like, fuck it, I don't care if it's snowed. I'm still going to the record store, right? But I went there, and there was a sign on the door, and they weren't opening for like an extra 2 or 3 hours, I guess, due to the snow. So I had to sit around and wait because I had driven an hour or so to get there. At least the store for me opened eventually, but it didn't open for you, so what a letdown.
I even Instagram messaged them. I called.
Right.
Like, I'm here. I'll wait a little while. And then I was
see
gonna
the
go.
lights. I see the lights.
And then John recommended a place to eat, so I go around the block. That fucking place was closed too.
Oh man, that's a double letdown.
It's the Sunday before Christmas.
Yeah, right. How could they be closed and not making the income? That was a big day.
Christmas season for anything retail,
Yeah.
especially independent, it's a good padding for the doldrum of January, February.
Right. If you got to make those additional sales that lead up
Yeah,
to
man.
to carry you through.
To stock the store, to make
Yep.
sure the store is fat and overflowing for the 2 months that you
Right.
really can't afford it.
Right. Right.
Open your doors.
Yeah, it's a good little behind the scenes knowledge
Yeah,
there.
man. And then Sunday I went to the Asbury Park Punk Rock Flea Market. I went with
Right.
just disappointment in my eyes, and I ended up spending way too much money. Because now you hit a spot, and
Right.
again, I came back with a bag of shit for other people.
Right.
And that's
right.
fine. But I found a bunch of stuff that I was excited about.
Mm-hmm.
And once you find the one thing,
Right.
that's it.
Oh yeah. No. Now you're gonna
It's
spend the whole.
fucking over.
Yeah, you got to spend the whole time there.
And then you get home,
Right.
and you're like, okay, I was so excited about these things. That's the only reason I bought everything else. He's like, oh, there's a hole for this. I'm just fucking buying it. Oh, I needed this. I'm buying it because that one thing lit you up so much that you buy everything. And then you get home and go, what am I going to do with all this shit? Thank God. If I decide I don't want this, I could sell it in the store.
I know you have that out. See,
man.
I don't have that out. We were talking about that before we started the video, that being part of some of those vinyl clubs type things, and it's like,
if I don't want it, just put it in the store.
Right. And someone will find it in the store who doesn't want to be part of that vinyl club, and you're going to make their day. So that's awesome. But a lot of us don't have that ability, so we don't necessarily want to be part of those things. But I went to a record store just recently, and it was like the first or second thing, but I found an album by an artist I didn't even know had come out. So it was this, I call them a glam metal band, but they were from Seattle, 92 War Babies. They made one album, always loved that stuff, never did anything else. They dug into their vaults this past year and released 14 unreleased songs that sound phenomenal. Didn't even know what happened. Came out this year, 2024 sealed copy of it. Found.
Where'd you find it?
This was at High Fidelity.
Nice. Just recently.
Just recently. I mean, mind blown. Best find of the year.
Really?
Yep. And it turned out to be as good when I heard it.
Remind me to order that.
Yeah.
I want to get that in the store.
Somebody was commenting on my video, said they reached out to you and you said it wasn't available. So.
Oh, that's probably it.
Yeah,
So somebody did call me for that shit.
Yeah, exactly. But the point is,
so that came out in 24.
October, I found out. I looked it up.
So now it's done.
It's
gone. Never
Sold
getting
out.
it again.
Yeah. We'll look for it just to make sure
Just to make sure,
available. But I looked it up before coming in.
Because now I did look it up.
Yeah. But the reason I was bringing that up was not just because I had a great score, but when I found that, I went home with 34 CDs. Because I was just fucking buying
Now
everything.
you're just pulling it. You don't care.
I was just like, I want that.
Care.
I've always wanted that. I want that. I didn't care. That's
Yes.
right. And I walked out so fucking happy. And I did have great stuff in that. But I'll tell you what, it was that one find right at the beginning that lit it up for me.
This is I guess one of the ultimate things about having the store is I don't give a shit anymore.
Yeah.
I buy it.
Yeah. Right.
If I think
if you want it, buy it. I
could just put it in the store and get the money back. I don't buy shit.
In case you already have it or your
when you see me in a record store, I'm there for myself.
Right.
Occasionally, you find something that you think, man, I would just love to have this for the store.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm buying for me. So if I walk out with a stack of records and I spend $1,000, those are my records.
Right.
I could be upgrading. It could be a German press. It could be the U.S. press, to which I only have the UK press. I just found...
Could just be listening if one sounds better than the copy you have at home.
Because it's a thing.
I know.
Look at the doors. I get I want every pressing of the first record that was available. I want every plant. Yeah, I want... So if you see me walking out with 5 Doors records, I'm not reselling them. Those are mine. Right? I have 9 mono copies for a fucking reason. Okay? That's just mono. It's not the stereos. And it's not reissues. These are originals. So there's things that... But if I'm in there and I find a Doors mono... It's $100. I'm thinking this is way too expensive. I'm probably buying it. Right? Don't care.
Don't care.
And then it opens me up to say I'm probably going to buy...
other stuff.
It's way too much shit.
Right.
But back to the... I'm glad that I have the option to resell it.
Resell, right.
So sometimes when I say to people, just fucking buy it, who cares?
I
have something a little...
Yeah. But my mind is that way. When I'm at the store, and especially if I've driven an hour and a half to get there, and I'm not sure I'm wavering, I'm just going to buy it because I'm not coming back the next week. And if I won't go back to that place for 2 to 3 months at least.
Most likely it's going to be gone.
It's going to be gone. So if I found something, just buy it.
Just buy it.
Yeah.
You don't regret what you bought. You regret what you don't buy.
Yeah,
I didn't regret anything. I haven't regretted anything I bought.
No.
And if I start to, I'm like, oh man, do I regret spending this money? No. Search deep down inside. What that feeling of remorse is you left something behind. You go, oh shit, I should have got that stupid $1 fucking CD.
Yeah.
Why did I put the $1 CD back?
The 4 or 5 CDs that I put back at High Fidelity, I now wish I'd gotten.
I don't put it back.
I didn't need them, and that was the thing. It was sort of like, I've got this in a box set, but it's in a cardboard case. I want the jewel case, and I hadn't seen the jewel case copy of this in forever. It's out of print. I should have bought it. It was $6.99. But I had 34 CDs already, so I was putting stuff back because I was like, do I really need 40?
When I was in Asbury, man, it was just, as soon as, whatever the hell I found, whatever it was that sparked it,
Yeah.
it just opened a floodgate.
That's cool.
And I just...
Because there's nothing worse than when you go in and there's just nothing that excites you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you know what excited me the most? Finding a bunch of Lords of the New Church records. I own it all.
Oh.
Own it all. But
I love finding something I don't have.
I got an original US and UK, the first album. The second album, I have the UK. Now I found a US.
Well, there's so many
The
mixes
third
of those.
record, I found a weird Italian pressing. So I found all the other pressings that I don't have that I
Right.
want. And I'm probably not going to keep them. I'm probably going to go through, keep all the fucking US because the track
Right.
listings aren't different. But
Oh, see, I like the
now I
different
just-
track listings.
so do I, but
Oh.
these don't have them.
Oh, they don't
These are
have
all the
it.
same.
Oh, they're just all the same. Okay.
But-
that's
so,
the best.
That was what turned me on the most, was finding the other.
Other versions
Yeah.
of that. Yeah.
And then I thought I found a White Snake. Fuck. I found a White Snake. I found a White
80s
Snake.
or 70s era.
80s. Oh man, I can't. I'm just blanking.
Slide it in, 87.
No,
Slip of the tongue.
come and get it. No,
Oh, yeah, come and get
come
it.
and get it. Find an original Japanese pressing, so that
Wow.
turned me on.
That's one of the best album
I love
covers,
that
too.
album. I love the record is great.
Right,
but,
right.
But so like little things like that have turned
Right.
me on.
Those are hard to come by.
Yeah.
That's a cool score.
But it wasn't enough to not make me feel as if the record shopping on last Friday.
Yeah.
It just was bleh.
It did it right. You didn't walk home with one of those amazing scores.
No.
Yeah, you're right. All I need is one of them.
But what is an amazing score anymore? I don't know.
Right. Well, you would.
You don't know until you get there.
That's right. You don't know until you get there. A lot of people talk about holy grails. Well, I don't really have a list of that kind of
No.
stuff. For me, it's that War Babies turned out to be one. I didn't even know it.
Yeah.
But it was just, I didn't know I needed it until I saw it. And when I saw it, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And it just became the ultimate thing. Literally the best thing I bought this past year.
I'm hoping the 25th in Asbury they're doing the record riot at the Stone
Yeah,
Pony.
right.
So,
Maybe
be
you'll
prepared.
have-
I'm gonna probably go broke.
Right, and clear
Because
that
I'm still
place out.
my empty soul and being.
You haven't filled it.
still has it.
That void.
And I gotta fucking fill it. And
That's
I think
right.
the only way I'm gonna fill it is by crushing
I-
the Asbury Park Record Fair.
I hope you have an amazing experience there because there's nothing worse than not filling it.
I got home Wednesday.
Yeah.
You know what? Because I ordered two things that I've always wanted. And they finally came in the mail from Greece. It's been over a month.
Okay, yeah. that's
So
a
one
lot.
was the Doors in concert, 3 LP set. I've never had it
Okay.
on LP. I got it.
Yep.
Fucking mint.
Yeah.
And I always wanted the double Bowie changes.
Okay.
The Ryko did it.
Right.
It was clear. Who
Yeah,
cares?
1 and
Whatever.
2.
Yeah, it was. No, it wasn't all 2.
But they didn't put all of 2 on it?
No.
Oh.
But it's
Okay.
a 3 sides.
But I
a
know what you're
second- yeah.
talking about. Yeah.
So, but the guy who I got the Doors from had it, so I'm just like, I'll get it. It looked like the corner of the box was sitting in water because it was soaked when I got it, and I'm like, ah!
Is it okay when you opened it?
There was a little wave. The water never hit a record.
Okay.
But the corners of 2 of the gatefolds have a little wave. And it was also Tuesday when I got home from here, and I was going out for New Year's. I was going a distance.
So you couldn't even
now
listen to
I'm
it.
like, I can't do anything with this because I have to leave the house. And that was a disappointment.
Yes. That is the worst when something comes in the mail that you've been waiting for and you literally can only like bring it in, drop it off, and you got to turn right around and run out. And then I spend the rest of the night thinking I just
I
wanna
was
go
sitting
home.
there hanging out with friends, whooping it up, thinking, man, I got 5 records sitting at home for me.
Right.
2 albums, 5 records in between them total that I could be playing with, smelling,
Right.
looking at, whatever.
Next time Anthony's
Watching spin on the turntable.
daydreaming, it's because he's thinking about the records at home.
Pretty much.
Right?
Yeah. Hey, you gonna talk to that girl? No.
No.
You thinking about that girl? No. I'm thinking
No,
about
there's
these fucking
records.
records that are sitting on my kitchen table drying. The covers that are drying, praying that the wave is gonna go away. But,
Right.
but that was getting that package was more filling than
then your shop, the record store experience.
And I spent a ton of money.
That-
2 days.
Occasionally that will happen where I don't find anything at a record store and then I go home and something I've been waiting for but wasn't expecting is on the doorstep.
And I could light on fire everything I just bought because the shit that just came in the mail was what I was waiting for. So
Right.
if I got those fucking things 3 days earlier,
You wouldn't have
or
had
week
to go-
earlier, I wouldn't have went out.
Right,
I wouldn't have
because-
left my house. I would have been sitting home.
You didn't-
Fucking yeah.
You wouldn't have had the void.
I would have been listening to the Doors and the Bowie
Right.
for a week straight, not giving a shit.
Right.
And then those records will make me dive into the rest of the Doors and Bowie.
Right.
Again.
And then you also would have known what you were looking for when you went out to places and
Yeah.
maybe it would have had
I would have
more
been so
direction.
enamored with just those 2 albums that I would have.
Well, sometimes it's just the way the cookie crumbles.
Yeah,
as
and
they
now it's
say.
too late.
Right.
Because now I'm trying to fill a void of having been in a record store and feeling empty leaving.
Right, having a record store funk. So, all right, guys. Well, let us know any of the misstepped experiences you might have had where you've gone to a record store and the same thing, walked out empty, not feeling that you filled that record store hunting void that you want, didn't get the thing that you had hoped you would get. It sure is a letdown. Maybe it's end of year blues. Who knows? But we do hope going forward in 2025, you guys all have fantastic record store shopping experiences. I hope you have yours when you go out to Record Riot.
I was just zoning off thinking about the records, by the way.
Yeah, right.
So I was just staring.
He's like,
Somebody's
"What?"
going to comment and go, "Oh man, Ant's bored." No, I was thinking about that fucking Doors
I
record.
want to address that real quick because somebody said in one of the last videos I posted, wow, you can see Anthony's really not into it. And it was the topic you came up with. But now that you mentioned this, I think Anthony was just thinking about records.
I am probably thinking about, and plus it was, so the holidays
it was-
are really busy.
Yes, I'm sure it was that, but I like to
And
think
I'm
you're thinking
I was
about a
thinking
record
about
at home.
records, or I was
Yeah.
thinking about what the 30 people in the store, what records they wanted.
Sure,
Am I
sure.
going to fill that?
Right.
I was probably thinking about the amount of orders I had to do to make sure.
Yeah. No, I'm
that's-
sure it was all that, but I like to think you were thinking about
I was
your
thinking about
records at
records.
home.
I was thinking about when is that order from Greece coming?
That's right, exactly. And all right, guys, well, this was a fun one. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and we'll talk to you real soon. Bye-bye.